Hey guys, so back at work on this thing. I did do some additional work last night after that last video. Put the bearings on. I just put them on loosely because I knew I was going to take them off. I just wanted to fit this on and see where the tire was going to go. And it's sagging a bit. That's why it looks like it's a little out of alignment. But although I did come to the realization that one side of the frame, this piece is out a bit, so that it looks the tire looks a little wonky when it's going straight ahead. But regardless, so just to clarify things, that threaded rod, that was not what I was using for an axle. That was just what I was going to use to align everything. What I got is I've got two pieces of keyed shafting that I'm going to use. The problem with this stuff is it doesn't seem to be, well, it seems to be exactly 3/4 of an inch, which seems to be a bit of a problem with these bearings because they're very tight in them. Like I could get them through, this one through about, 2/3 of the way, and then it just tightened up and I'd have to pound it in. I didn't want to pound it in. So I'm going to have to I'll chuck them in the drill press and just give them a light sanding, and that should take enough of it off. This one here is even more stubborn. It only goes in about an inch or two. But like I said, I'll just resolve it with just some light sanding, just to knock off the outer edge of it. I did already knock down the burr on the keyway. I thought that was part of the problem, but no, that wasn't it. So the plan with this stuff is, I was going to put these tires on temporarily, but I thought about it and I said I might as well just do it right the first time and not fart around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up such that you can remove the gear. The gear is a welded-on gear onto a weld-on sprocket there, and that's retained with a key and a set screw. And whereas the wheel itself is retained with a key, but there's actually no set screw in it. And I assume it was meant to be retained with a clip, probably at the end. But I didn't want to cut a clip slot in the 3/4 inch shaft here because I didn't want to weaken it. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get it into the position I want, and then I'll just tack it in place with the key in it, and that'll be good, because if I ever need to take it off, I'll just pull it off with the bearings, and the shaft can stay with the rim, because I can always get another piece of keyed shafting if I decide to change the tires at some point, and rims, of course. Regardless, I think these will do me quite well. After that, I guess the next task to do is, I still haven't welded in here. I'm going to do that a little bit later, or I might just ignore it, deliberately forget about it, but we'll see how we go. But after that, I've got to figure out how I'm going to mount those motors. I want to mount them, this is going to be the bottom, obviously, or if it wasn't obvious, it is. It would be nice and low if I rode it this way, but I think I'm going to flip it around the other way, have a little bit more ground clearance. And I want to mount the motors on the top to keep them out of harm's way. If I'm going to have ground clearance, I might as well maintain the ground clearance. Apart from that, that's probably all of the most difficult tasks that I want to do here. I'm still trying to decide how I want to do the deck for this thing. Like I'm still thinking about doing a cross to brace it. But I might just do something along the lines of where I put a bar across here to support the battery and the motors, and then it'll just be a thick piece of plywood across the rest of it. We'll see how we go here. It's pretty solid. It doesn't have a lot of flex in it, and it did take a lot of work to take the spring out of the frame that I had there. So I'm not too worried about it. But what I'll do is I'll bounce on it once I have the tires on it. So let's get the tires on it, then we can worry about that part. Okay, they're not permanently on. But I thought of a different way I could do this rather than tack welding this to the shaft. I've got some other collars like this. These are the retainers for the bearings, but that would certainly hold it in place and hold the keyway in place. I'll have to see how that'll work, but I may try that. But that's approximately how that's going to be set up, without the gear wibble wobbling away. Should be enough clearance for it to come back. Same again over here. So I'm going to throw this on its wheels so we can see what it looks like. Okay, there you go. That's what it looks like. I just tried balancing on it, and Well, I nearly asked over. Well, I did ask over, but not too bad. But to give you some idea how it's going to work, you're obviously not sitting on a plank of wood, but you'll be sitting here like that and putting your feet up there. There'll be actually a proper seat. I'd like to get a rocket seat, like a racing car seat, but nevertheless, let's see if I can make a. Oh, there we go. Well, that was idiotic, but it was funny. There you go. So that's what it's going to look like when you ass over. Anyways, let's get back to doing these wheels up permanently. And then I can concentrate tomorrow on mounting the motors. And once the motors are mounted, I can actually do a test of how fast they're going to go. I ordered my charger for my big 24-volt battery, but that's probably not going to come for like 7 days. So the first test will probably be with one of my 12-volt deep cycle batteries. But nonetheless, there you go. Funny how the evening slips by so fast. It's already past 8. I got the sprockets welded on the hubs, and they look okay. I'm satisfied with them. They're not too bad. Oh, there's a little void there, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm only welding them on the one side. I think that's plenty. I don't have to weld it on the other side. I think I'm just taking a chance with warping it if I do, and it looks pretty straight right now. Yeah, that one does as well. So I'm not going to mess around. I'd have to spin it to know for sure if it's warped. I have one issue. I think that this keyed shafting I bought is probably not very good quality. I can't get the keyway to go into it. I got the right size of keyway. It works with the sprockets, and it fits in and is tight with very, very, very little play. But damned if it won't go into any of this keyed shafting. I don't know. Maybe I'll go to TSC and get another piece of keyed shafting and try again. But I was trying to open it up with a file, and it's hard enough that that I can't, or at least not very quickly. And I don't want to go at it with something like a machine tool and really wreck it. So if you guys have any suggestions, I could just pound it in there, I suppose. Key stock I thought was supposed to be fairly soft, so it would probably work. See, it almost is in there. You can see it right there. It's the same width, it just said it's not quite there. And the burr is gone because I can't catch it with my fingernail, even in either direction, you know, regardless. Anyways, if you have any thoughts on that, you know, please feel free to comment. Apart from that, I guess I'm not going to have the wheels on permanently today, because I still have to resolve how I'm going to fix them. I went and I looked for some more of these collars, and unless they're going to, you know, steal some off of some other bearings, which is kind of a pain in the ass, I can't really use them. So I'm back to either welding the wheel hub to the axle, or I'm going to use some pieces of tubing as spacers between it and the edge. And you know, it does mean that the wheel will rattle around a bit. I don't think I'm going to be able to get in there. Yeah, it's just not a really great angle to come in at it and drill this out and put a set screw in. I suppose I could do that. If I come in at about a 45-degree angle, I could put a set screw in here. That's not what I'd want to have it. The only thing I'd want to have it holding it in place, though. I think I would still go with some tubing to brace the sides. But yeah, not nuts about welding it on myself, but that might be the brightest idea. Okay, well, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. It's not going as fast as I thought it would, but nevertheless, it's making some progress. You know, the frame is getting closer and closer, and soon the wheels will be on permanently. I'll say that the wheels will be on permanently by end of day tomorrow. Maybe that's what I can say. And then Thursday is motor mount day, maybe I should say, because I still have to figure out how I can mount them in such a way that I can use them to take up the slack on the chain. And then from there, the electronics should be actually the easiest part. And loading the software, this is all, you know, pre-made software, so it's not going to be too big a deal. Electrical never really phases me, so that should go fairly fast as well. It's just a question of what I've got available. I've got to get some shielded cable for some of the lines. Anyways, enough babbling. Thanks for watching, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe. Glad to hear that everybody's enjoying the build so far.